My name is Mando. So today I am making a quick, simple video for business owners and explaining to business owners how they can better understand applying artificial intelligence into their business and how it works. So my example for today is a bank, and obviously banks do many things, but we're going to focus on house loans and car loans. This same model or picture or diagram that I designed here can be applied to any business as well in general, right? And then so towards here at the bottom, these are just like the programs or the software being used for the AI. I'm sorry, for the business. But don't worry about this too much. I want business owners to just get the general idea of how the flow works. So this is basically your business workflow. So the start of your business workflow and how it usually starts your communication with your customer, and then it'll go through steps. And finally, the end workflow of your business is usually when the customer buys the house or makes a payment or buys the car or gets approved for the car loan, etc. So if you're a restaurant, then your finish note over here looks something more like the customer finishes the food and they walk out. So that will be the end process of your business, right? And if we're doing the restaurant example, your start business is maybe the first time the customer sees your restaurant on your Instagram or something, right? But let's just use the bank for today. I just wanted to explain sort of the timeline of this thing here. So if we're using the bank example and learning how to apply AI to the bank as a business, it starts off with frequently asked questions. So at a bank, let's say 30% of communication by customers is usually like asking about withdrawal fees, right? Why do I have a withdrawal fee? Can you remove it? Blah, blah, blah. So this is a task that manually people answer the phone with, right? So a good example here is this task. Basically, if a customer wants to remove the withdrawal fee that the bank charges, the bank has to check, okay, has this person had any withdrawal fees removed within the past 12 months? So usually the person at the bank has to like check up their bank information or their credentials or whatever, and they have to see manually like, okay, did this person call the bank before asking for us to waive the fee or pardon them for the fee, right? So that involves manual work, meaning it's a human, there's a phone, somebody's salary is getting paid. So where AI comes in here is automation. And what kind of automation can we use? If you look here, we can use what we call a voice agent. And there's a lot of software, like I said, don't worry about it too much. But one of them is retailai.com. And that's a platform for complex voice systems. And that's how your business starts benefiting from automation or AI, okay? As a bank, right? And then some businesses have landing pages, some businesses have Instagram messages. So if you're getting a lot of Instagram messages from, let's say you have an e-commerce or something, then if you're really busy and there's like 20 messages there and you can't reply because you're doing something else and you're a CEO, then you're kind of losing money, right? Unless you have a program called ManyChat on manychat.com. Don't worry about that too much. But basically, it's a chat bot that will take your leads all the way from the start, all the way to the finish on its own. Meaning like they'll get qualified, they'll upsell them. The chat bot will check the system and to see if they actually have purchased before, right? So it's a complex process, but there's a lot of like filters and conditions, and you can do that with ManyChat, right? So we're applying different technologies and different steps of the sales process or the business process, right? But one of the most important things, as we see here, is that the software, the ManyChat, is going to collect email and phone number. That's very important. So it should collect it up front immediately, whether to find out if the customer is a returning customer or if it's a new person. So if it's a new customer, then we really want to get their data, and you can set ManyChat to do that initially, and basically send it to your CRM, your customer relations management software, or your Google Sheet, whatever you're using. So that's a quick way you can apply AI automation to the beginning process of your business, right? And so the next process is, if we're using the bank example, is let's say the person is asking about the withdrawal fee, or some persons are just returning customers, or some persons are trying to apply for a car loan or a bank loan or a house loan, right? So then here you'll have a form automated, right? So the customer fills it out online, and then that data will go on to the next step. Some customers don't finish the application. Some customers make a deposit, or some customers make an appointment to come to the bank, right? So all of this is handled by the chatbot or the AI or the voice agent. So it depends how your customer is communicating through your website or through a phone call, right? And if you're kind of noticing here, we're eliminating humans, we're eliminating employees, we're eliminating the bank or the business from having to pay salaries out to people versus just implementing an AI system, right? And then the next step is in the bank process, your CRM, which banks are probably using their own private CRM, but a CRM is basically customer relation management. So it's where all your customers' data is stored and managed and used for follow-up and stuff like that. For example, Salesforce, and then other ones like HubSpot. And if you want to make it extremely simple for small businesses, they're probably using Google Sheets, right? So you can see this. They're using Salesforce.com or something like that. Salesforce.com is enterprise level. Okay, so the AI, whether it's a voice or a chat, is automatically updating your CRM, your Google Sheet or whatever, and it might even be pulling data from there. The next step would be, let's say they're buying a house. So it says here, if the credit score is improved, okay. So basically, let's say we have some customers that couldn't qualify for the home loan because their credit score was too low, or they didn't have enough money or whatever. The AI will automatically, you can set the AI agent, one of these, and you can build agents with N8N through an API. Anyways, don't worry about this too much. So the agent or the AI you can set it to check with the customer 6 months later automatically, okay? Or you can have it check with it, 3 months, and follow up with the customer to check if their credit score has been approved. So the AI system can send the email out automatically to the person who applied for a loan and didn't get approved before, but they can try to reapply then. And then obviously you get to see the point. It keeps going further. So there might be some small loop here. And then the next thing, if you're doing enterprise level, like you're, thousands and thousands of employees, then your system and your business is probably connected to a cloud-based service, like as I have here, AWS, which is by Amazon, Azure by Microsoft, GCP by Google. But these are all cloud-based, cloud computing. You don't have to worry about that too much if your business is small. But if you're, obviously, if you have a lot of data, then you might be using specific programs like big data, data rivers, data leaks, stuff like that. Data lakes, sorry. And obviously at the finish point, you can also have an automated system where the system collects money from the customer automatically and handles like late payments or stuff like that and fees. So there it is. It's basically a system from beginning to end. And obviously, at some point, you can break this cycle and have it go to a real person. Like if it doesn't do a certain thing that you like, you can have it, or the customer wants to get out of the loop of this straight line, you can have an option where it contacts or goes directly to your customer, like a real person, basically. All right, guys. Again, my name is Mando. I made this thing to simplify it as much as possible so business owners can start thinking and visualizing like the benefits of the cost savings of this AI automation. On the description of the video, I'll put all my social links. I'll put like my school where I can teach other guys how to do this, or business owners how to implement this. Again, I hope you found this video super valuable and super helpful. Thanks again, guys. My name is Mando. I'll see you guys later.